Hello students, in today's video I'm going to teach you a simple but effective way of playing with the white pieces against the Albin's Countergambit. Here we're going to start with d4, they're going to play d5, c4, and e5, a tricky move. They're gambiting or sacrificing the pawn, in other words, in order to get compensation, which usually manifests as space advantage for black. This pawn on d4 is preventing our knight from heading to the natural developing square c3. Black is hoping that they can later win this pawn back on e5, various different ways, for example, this way, and then keep the space advantage that they have gotten because of the pawn on d4. Here we're going to be playing knight to f3. Makes sense, right? We're attacking d4 and at the same time protecting this pawn on e5. Black typically plays knight to c6, and over here white has three main moves: g3, knight d2, and the move that we're going to be playing, a3. Simple, but very strong. We're going to, first of all, prevent any kind of checks on b4, which lead to tactical ideas for black. Plus, we're going to be playing b4 later on to gain space advantage on the queen side, as well as fianchettoing the door square bishop to apply further pressure on d4. Most of the opponents, especially at higher levels, are going to be playing knight to e7. Here we go b4 with very similar ideas of playing bishop to b2 and perhaps b5. Black goes knight g6, applying pressure on e5. We go bishop to b2, we apply pressure on d4 over here. Now, in this position, black would just take right away on e5, but master level players, they like to first include the moves a5. There is pressure over here, and white is kind of forced to play b5, which slightly weakens some dark squares here. So they squeeze the maximum of what they can. Over here, they're going to be taking on 5. Taking back, very logical, and instead of taking this pawn back right away, there's a fantastic move e3. You see, we're now opening up the light square bishop to temporarily protect the c4 pawn, which was under attack. At the same time, this is a pin, and so we're applying more pressure on d4, which we're going to surely win back. They're going to be continuing the attack against c4. Now, we take on d4 with the bishop. We don't want to end up in a situation where they take with a knight on c4 and hit our bishop. They're going to be taking the pawn on c4. Now, in this position, they have won the pawn back. This position is very easy to play for the white pieces, and there's not much that black could have done to increase their advantage. White is probably much better. Engine will be giving around +1 advantage. We will play bishop e2 because that's safest. After bishop e7, a very good looking move, queen to c2. We're not only hitting the knight, but we're aiming at the weak pawn behind the knight. In the long run, c7, the backward pawn. Also, this move will free up the square on d1 for our rook to come. So black goes knight to d6 as the knight is under attack, castles, castles, and from here on, you have very simple developing. You want to go rook to c1. One of the long-term plans of yours is the application of the pressure on the c7. We're going to be playing rook to d1, and then the knight could head to c3 or d2. And you have various ideas, like even perhaps sometimes going knight d4 and a kingside attack. Another idea that sometimes you could utilize is queen to b2 to create this battery and apply pressure against the black's king. Easy, but very effective. That's pretty much all you need to know, so feel already much more comfortable. Hire me as your personal chess coach if you would like to tell me more. Now, I thank you for coming to this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next class. Bye-bye.